guys, welcome back to Miss Hannah's Algebra lessons. Today we are going to talk more about solving for x, but today we're going to talk about solving for x in multi-step equations. So last time we talked about single-step equations, all we needed to do was to get rid of the number next to the x so that we could figure out what x was. This is a little bit more difficult. We can't just get rid of the number next to x. We need to also get rid of the number that is like right next to x, so we can get x totally all alone by itself, and we can figure out what he means. So solving for x in multi-step equations works best when you are using algebra tiles. How algebra tiles work is that each separate integer and variable is represented by one tile each. Now, who can tell me what an integer is? Very good. An integer is a number. And who can tell me what a variable is? Awesome. A variable is an unknown number, right? So each integer number and each variable unknown number is going to be represented by one tile each. So like in this case, 3, it won't be a little tile with a number 3 on it. It's going to be 3 little tiles that each have a 1, because 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So first, when we get this equation, like here, we're going to want to get x by itself. If we can get x by itself, then we can look closer at the equation and figure out how to solve for x, and then we can have our answer. So to get x by itself, we first need to look at the number that is beside x. Not this one, but the one that is right here, either by an addition or a subtraction sign. This is the one that we need to deal with first. This one's going to be a little bit tricky. We'll save him for last. So right here in this case, we've got a positive 3. If we have a positive 3 and we want 0, how many do we need to take away? Very good, 3. If we have positive 3 and we take away 3, we're left with 0. So that's what we're going to do first, right? But like we had last week, we really need to make sure we're understanding that what we do to one side of the equal sign, in this case, the line is also represented, this is also the equal sign, is this line. What we do to one side of the equal sign, we need to do to the other side of the equal sign. Like I said, if you picture a seesaw, both sides need to be nice and balanced. If they're not nice and balanced, then the equation becomes unequal and in fact false. If we have a false equation, obviously we don't get our answer. So now that being said, let's solve this equation together using algebra tiles. All right. So right here, we have got 2x plus 3 equals 7. Well, we don't know what the x is, right? We know that 2x plus 3 equals 7, but we don't know what this little x number is, and that's the answer that we're really trying to figure out. So to use algebra tiles, this is what we're going to do. So I am going to have 2 separate tiles over here with x on them, and these are going to represent my 2x. See, I've got 2 x's. Now, who can tell me how many 3's I'm going to have? Remember, they're all individual. So how many 3's am I going to have? How many tiles? 3 tiles. Very good. So each tile is going to have a little 1 on it. And here we have 2x plus 3. So now who can tell me what's going to be over here? Are we going to have some x's, or are we going to have a bunch of 1's? Right, we are going to have a bunch of 1's, right? So let's put down 7 1's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Awesome. So now we have our equation. We have 2x plus 3 equals 7. So remember, first things first is we want to get rid of the number that's next to x. Not this number, but this number, right? This one's a little bit more tricky. We're going to save him for last. So looking here, how did we talk about getting rid of 3? What did we need to do? Right, we needed to subtract 3. So if we're going to take away 3 ones off of this side, what do I need to do to this side? Right, I need to take 3 ones off that side also. So here I'm going to remove my ones. I'm going to take away 3. And I'm going to take away 3 ones off of this side. Awesome. So now I'm going to erase a little bit of the top. I'm going to keep this updated as we're going, because now we have 2x equals 4. So I'm going to change that to update it. All right, we have got 2x equals 4. Now, when you've got numbers right here smushed together, that's really saying that these numbers are multiplied. X is multiplied by 2. That's why there's 2 x's. So to separate this multiplication, we need to do the opposite of multiplying. Now, who can tell me what the opposite of multiplication is? Very good. The opposite of multiplication is division. Now, since we are going to be doing division, we can go ahead and we'll separate these two. We'll say we divided 2x by 2, and now these are separated. These are both just 1x. Well, since we divided these by 2, now we need to divide these into groups of 2. So if I've got 2 groups and I want to keep them even, we'll go ahead and need to make sure one is in this group, 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 one is in this group. Because we want to keep our groups even. We want to evenly divide our groups by 2. So now that we have our groups evenly divided by 2, what does 1x equal? 1x equals 2. And 1x is pretty much just the same thing as saying x, because if there's only 1x, well, look, there's still only 1x. So what's our answer here? We've got x equals 2. And we used algebra tiles to figure that out. Now, since we did all of that, we are going to plug it back into our original equation to make sure that it all makes sense. So we originally had 2x plus 3 equals 7. All right, we got 2x plus 3 equals 7. But we said x equals 2. So remember, if we're replacing this in here, if 2 is going to be replaced by x, if these numbers are smushed together, what does that mean? Does that mean we're adding them, or are we what? We're multiplying them, right? So now instead of multiplying 2 by x, we're multiplying 2 by 2. So let's rewrite that. So now we're multiplying 2 times 2. Who can tell me what is 2 times 2? 4, right? 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 3 equals, is that answer right? It is, right? So now we know, after plugging our x back into the original equation, that this in fact is true, that x equals 2. And we use that during algebra tiles. Thanks again for joining me, you guys. I had so much fun teaching everyone about algebra, solving for x, and learning how to use algebra tiles. And until next time, I hope we keep learning, keep having fun, and keep on keeping on. We'll see you next time, guys.